What if I said that I had something and I added 3 to it and I got 8? That something has to be 5. So I could say that x was 5 straight away just by inspection. Now I could solve this in a different way by subtracting 3 from both sides. So x plus 3 minus 3 is going to be 8 minus 3. And the plus 3 minus 3 actually cancel out, leaving you with x equals 5. And that is the way that you should do it if you can't just solve it through inspection. So for part B, a number, take away 8, gives you 11. Now we could do this by inspection, but really what you're doing in your head is simply what we did here. So you add 8 to both sides. So if you add 8, that takes it away from here, and adding 8 to this gives you 19. For C, 4 times some number is 32. So what would one of those numbers have been? It's 32 divided by 4. And do you see that I moved the 4 from this side to this side by dividing it? Because between here is a hidden multiplication sign. And if I move the 4 to the other side, I'm doing the inverse of that, which is dividing it. So half of that halved again is going to be 8. Now in the final example, I've got a number that when I divide it by 6 is 7. So the number must have been bigger than 7. In fact, it was 6 times 7. And again, it's the same sort of thing. If I move the 6 to the other side, because it's a divided by 6 here, it would become a times by 6 on this side. So that means that it's going to be 7 times 6, which is 42. This one is often worries people because it doesn't have a simple equation here. Instead, it's just a big mess. So we have to try to create those equations from this. And it should be fairly straightforward. Let's just have a look. So a packet of sweets is divided equally among 5 children. So let's just visualize that first. We have a packet of sweets and we're dividing it 5 ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And each of the child is given 4 sweets. So each one of these has 4. Write down an equation to describe this situation and solve it. So that must mean that if my number of sweets in here was x, what did I have to do? When I divided it by 5 children, each one had 4. And then by combining all of this, I have 5 of these 4s. X equals 5 times 4, which is 20. I always find that diagrams are really useful when you have a lot of writing. So whenever you see a lot of writing, just straight away start drawing a diagram on scrap paper, ideally in a test.